Hey YouTube, Heroic Master here, bringing you guys a Monarch deck profile for April 2016. Introducing us into April, the ban list right around the corner. So might as well just bring you guys a deck profile for Monarchs before they get hit. I like the deck. I like how it just stops your opponent from doing anything. And soon the deck Morphages going to be coming out after the ban list, and they will soon be shut down Monarchs with a monster that stops monsters from being tributed. But into the deck. I run for our Monarchs 2 Ether, 2 Erebus. Well, for our big Monarchs, 2 Ether, 2 Erebus. Ether, if you tribute, send 2 Monarch spell trap cards from your hand and or deck to the graveyard and special summon 1 monster with 2,400 or more attack. So with Ether, you summon Karaz and get Karaz's effect off, and then it returns to hand during the end phase. And then during your opponent's main phase, if this card's in your hand, banish Monarch spell trap card, and immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon this card. So with this, if you got a Erebus on the field, during your opponent's main phase, banish a Stormfort from your graveyard, tribute Erebus for Ether effect, send to Karaz, then Karaz goes off. So that's all during your opponent's turn. Then Erebus, which is the other version. So it's got the same effect by when it's tribute summoned, you send 2 Monarch spell trap cards, but you don't special, you actually shuffle 1 card from your opponent's hand, graveyard, or field, except if it's from hand, it's at random. So it's either one of those, so you only get to shuffle 1 card, except it's from hand at random, field, or graveyard. And once per turn during either player's main phase, if this card's in your graveyard, discard Monarch spell trap card, target 1 monster in your graveyard and add it to hand. So during your opponent's main phase, use his effect, add Ether effect, you get it all off during your opponent's main phase. So they go through each other. I only like it at 2-2 because I find it cloggy at 3-3. So 2-2. Then for our continuing on for our big Monarchs, 1 Chaos, 1 Mobius, 1 Riser, and 1 Zarborg. I'm still yet to take this to a tournament, but I've done these at home, and I've always opened up with one of these, mostly Mobius, but there was one duel where I ended up with 1 Mega Mobius, 1 regular Mobius, and 1 Frost Vassal. They had heap set cards and set special Frost Vassal. Tribute summon for regular Mobius, pop 2 their cards. Next turn, summon this was against Ghost Tricks, and he bricked majorly. Kept sending all his spell and trap cards. So go for normal Mobius, pop his 2 back row. Next turn he set 2, and then tribute for another Mobius and pop all his cards and go through the game. So I like the fact with the Mega Mobius, the Mega Riser helps with just clearing all their back row before you can attack. Zarborg just goes through their extra deck by... So when you go for Karaz and it's still in your field, tributes it for Zarborg, and then Zarborg pops itself, so you can just get rid of their entire extra deck, considering that's an 8. So you just get rid of all their extra deck, all their fusions, all their synchros, so it just messes up a lot of decks. Chaos, basically, its effect's good against any deck, except if it's against Dark, it's extremely good. No, if you tribute a Dark monster, so it doesn't matter. If you tribute Chaos for Mega Chaos, you can target 2 cards, and if both those cards are Dark, you get to banish every copy of them from their hand, deck, and graveyard, and they take 1,000. If you do take, I think if you target 2, your opponent takes 2,000 instead. But I just like it at the Mega Monarchs. I might take out Zarborg for the Mega Fire, but at the moment I just like how they sit. Just really helps you most of the time with all your big cards. Now for your small amount Monarchs, 2 Chaos, 2 Riser. I like the 2 Chaos, just banish cards on the field, might be pesky. Then 1 Thastalos, 1 Mobius, and 1 Karaz. I might actually bump this guy up to 2 by taking out the Thastalos, but at the moment I like discarding cards from my opponent's hand, especially if it's well, there's good and bad side by going Thastalos and discarding in Cosmo, because you do inflict damage, but if you discard their Dark Destroyer or they're high leveled, they do take damage, a heap of damage, but they get their effects off in the grave, so might take this out and go for another Karaz, if I can get another Karaz, that is. Now on for our vassals, or our squires. 2 Edia, 2 Eidos. Edia, normal special summons any other vassal. There was another time I went Edia, specialed Edia due to Eidos, then you special Garum, and then you tribute both for Mega, or just one of your other big monarchs, and then you get Garum's effect off for your search, so I'll explain that in more detail. But when Squire's sent to, when Edia's sent to the graveyard, it adds 1 Banish Monarch spell trap card back to your hand, and when it's normal special summons 1 monster with 800 attack and 1000 defense from your deck and defense. So with this, it special summons your other Squire, or it special summons your other Garums, except you can't special summon another Edia, or else they'd just be broken. Special, bang. You just completely... It just... If this could target itself, I would run 3, because you just banish special, another one from deck, and you get an extra normal. So you can normal twice this turn. So tribute and then tribute. Except even... It doesn't target itself, but it'd be good if it didn't. Except it would get hit. Eidos, if it's normal special summoned during your main phase this turn, tribute summon 1 monster in addition to your normal summoner set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. And if it's in the graveyard, banish it. And target 1 monster with 800 attack and defense in your graveyard and special summon it, except you can't special summon monsters from the extra deck. It doesn't matter, since you don't special summon the extra deck anyway. I have seen monarchs that do use extra deck, I don't know why. So, yeah. So, into our vassals, 2 Garum, 2 Mythera, 1 Landrobe, and 1 Frost, or 1 Rock and Frost. So Garum lets you add all your squires and vassals, so you set up your plays. Also, if you control a tribute summon monster, so let's say you control Vanity's Fiend, and you need the special, so you can keep normaling, return it to the hand and special Garum, then tribute Garum for something else, and then its effect, since it's been tributed, you get to add any of the... So this allows you to add any of your vassals, if it's tributed. Mythera, special it, special token to your opponent's side of the field, so it takes up space. Unless it's unless it's mirror match, and don't give them a token, or else they have more fodder for tributes. And if it's tribute summoned, you get an extra normal. So I like how you can just special this, tribute it for a Mega Chaos, and then effect you get an extra normal. So not only does Eidos give you an extra normal, but so does Mythera. Landrobe, put 1 of your opponent's monsters face down, special summon this card, and when it's tributed or sent to... if this card was tributed for a tribute summon, so if sent to graveyard as a tribute fodder, you get to add any of your vassals or squires from your graveyard back to your hand. And then Frost, just if your opponent controls 2 or more spell trap cards, just special it in their zones. Pendulum monsters and field card spells don't count. Which, I've seen other people try to use this deck and they make that mistake. Like friends of mine. Then 1 Vanity's Fiend. I don't have a side deck for the moment, but I might actually put this card in the side deck with another one along with Majesty's Fiend and Vanity's... I don't know. I'll bring you an updated deck list once I've gotten all the cards I need. Alright, that's it for the monsters. Large monster count because it's monarchs. Spells, triple monarch storm forth. With all the pendulum decks, it'd be good instead of tributing your monsters, you can tribute your opponents as well as yours for one of your large monarchs. Then 2 tenacity. You cycle through these all the time with your prime. So you just cycle through these all the time, or it's also great fodder for your large monarchs. Then 2 Panthism. It clogs, that's why I only put it at 2, and when Edia's sent to the graveyard, you can add it back once you banished it. So you can cycle through it thanks to Eater, and then 2 Domain. Domain stops your opponent from special summoning from the extra deck if you control Tribute Summon Monster, and you're the only player who controls Tribute Summon Monster. That's the thing. If your opponent's running Dynamists, for example, they can just Tribute Summon their level 5 ones. Therefore, this won't work, so then they can special. So, I only run at 2 due to that, and other decks that have level 5s, like your Odd Eyes, you can Tribute, so they can special summon from the extra deck. So, only 2, because most of the time it won't work. And also, I like its other 2 effects. If a Tribute Summon monster you control attacks an opponent's monster, sorry, no, that's the other one. Your Tribute Summon monster gains 800 attack during damage calc only. So, either 2-8 goes up to a 3-6 beater. So, I like Domain for that effect, and you can reduce reduce the level of one monster with 2,800 attack and 1,000 defense from your hand by 2. So you can just put this down to a 6, so you only have to Tribute Summon 1 monster. If you don't have any other Monarchs on the field and you just have a Squire, put it down to a 6 so you can just Tribute. And return, this allows you to add any of your Monarchs. I only like it at 1. You end up drawing into it quite frequently if you keep shuffling into the deck thanks to Prime, but like it at 1. So, I have seen other people run these come first at tournaments, but not exactly how I built them. I mean, there are different builds, but there's only one specific build for all the tier lists. But now for traps, 2 Prime. I actually might change this to 3 by taking out an Erupt or that Vanities Fiend, but 2 I like at the moment, since you don't control, since your Monarchs aren't back row heavy, so you set these, if you activate both of them, I like both of them, so you can just keep using Ether and Erebus's effect, just keep shuffling and sending and shuffling and sending and blah 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 blah. And then you can just keep using them as monsters since they keep tributing and sent to the grave. So, yeah. Prime, probably best Monarch trap card. Then 1 Escalation and 1 Erupt. Now, Escalation allows you to normal summon during your opponent's turn, and Erupt negates your opponent's monsters if you're the only one with a Tribute Summon monster and you have no cards in your extra deck. Negates your opponent's monsters, so negates all the Cosmo monsters' effects, so they can't use them. Don't know why no one runs this, considering that it negates Cosmos. So once you get this, once they summon Strawman and you control Chaos or something, flip up Erupt and just locks down the entire Cosmo deck. Don't know why no one runs this. It's up there with one of the best Monarch trap cards. And Escalation, you can just, during your opponent's turn, if you've got Stormforth set and you're up against Cosmos, they can't do anything. So if they special summoned and they can't do anything with that, just tribute it to normal, and then Erupt, just negate their monsters. So, except the thing is, it negates all monsters on the field. It negates the effects of all face-up monsters on the field, except Tribute Summon monsters. So all your vassals get negated and stuff like that on the field, but they're going to get tributed anyway, sooner or later, so I just like Erupt at 1. Now I don't have side deck because, well, the deck's good enough as it is. Beats quite a few decks, but that's it for my Monarch deck profile. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out my friend Shadow Flame's deck profile for openings, and he's soon have some deck profiles online. And my friend Fresh Snow, don't know why he called himself that, but he does the deck profiles and stuff soon, as well as like PS4 and 3 battles for Star Wars and stuff like that, so it might be cool to check it out. But that's all from me. Heroic Master out.